What's up? Hey everybody, it's Jeff from Urban Condo Spaces. Okay, so I'm coming to you from the new construction condo project that I've been working on for a while that I'm responsible for selling. It's Wallingford 45. If you guys have been following the blog and the YouTube channel here recently, you would have seen, some of my videos on this project. Wonderful news, we're past 50%, we're nearing 60%, so hope to be done with the project here in the next 3 to 4 months. So that's really great news. Now, the reason why I wanted to get in front of you guys today, first of all, it's the last day in 2019. So we're starting a new decade, which is pretty exciting. I had 5 things that I wanted to share with you guys just in terms of things to look forward to in the new year in 2020 in the Seattle condo market. Thought it'd be fun to give you some thoughts, predictions, things that I'm seeing that you guys can expect here in the new year. So let's start with number one. Number one on the list is simply that the rate environment's gonna stay very low, okay? So Fed policy on interest rates has remained pretty steady. Doesn't look like we're gonna see any significant changes heading into 2020, even in through maybe second or third quarter of next year. And until we see kind of a large rise in inflation, you're gonna continue to see the mortgage market stay relatively low. Well, what does this mean? Well, for buyers, this is exceptional, right? So with a new year ahead of us, you guys have an opportunity as a buyer to lock in very low financing. I mean, right now the 30-year fixed rate is less than 4%. So imagine being able to lock a new purchase, a new interest rate on a 30-year fixed loan at something in the neighborhood of 3.8 to 3.9%. Pretty incredible, okay? So my prediction for 2020 is you will not see a significant change in the interest rate, okay? The rate to which you can borrow for long-term financing. Couple indicators to watch there, watch the 10-year, and of course you can always just plug into Google, 30-year fixed interest rate or 15-year interest rate. All right, so number 2 on the list, guys, on the back of kind of the economic indicators, Seattle's expected to see the Seattle region, that is, in the upwards of 50,000 new people, new employees next year. So that's just a monster number. I mean, obviously, it's not just Seattle that's reaping the rewards of strong employment and strong job growth. There's cities like Tacoma and Everett, up north, down south, you're seeing the impact that all of these new employees are having on our local economy. But look here next year to see more new employees, more fresh faces from all over the country, all over the globe really, that are calling Seattle home. So that's number 2 on our list, okay? The employment and job growth, wage growth that we've been seeing, we should continue to see that. All right, number 3, getting into some of this condo related news. You're gonna see this year more condo announcements, okay? You're gonna see a couple new projects that are gonna be announced both in Seattle and Bellevue. More on Bellevue later, but this is big news. I mean, for as long as we've gone without a lot of new construction deliveries, we're gonna see a couple new announcements in 2020. And that's on the heels of what's already been announced and what's already been selling, projects like Spire, Emerald, First Light, Wallingford 45, and others. So look for a couple new condo projects to be announced here in the next even 6 months. Now, there's also Seattle House, okay, which announced recently, and they have in the upwards of 900 units that are gonna be delivered right next to Insignia Towers in the Denny Triangle. So for those of you unfamiliar, 5th, 6th, Bell and Battery is where Insignia is, right across the street from Insignia, right across 5th, in between 6th and 7th, is a new project called Seattle House by Concord Pacific. So even though we've had some of these announcements and some of these new projects that are coming to market, expect to see a few more. Now, on that note, we should be on the lookout for something interesting in 2020. And this isn't gonna be a real popular opinion, okay, this is my opinion, this doesn't come from anybody else, it might surprise some of you guys, but I actually expect to see one of the condo projects that are currently pre-selling, okay, that are currently selling. I could see one of these condo projects pulling the plug, okay? And there's a number of different reasons why I believe this. It has nothing to do with demand. It has nothing to do with, Seattle's ability to absorb some of this new inventory. But there's two key indicators I've been watching on a number of these new construction projects that are selling downtown, and two major hurdles, I should say. One is that this whole experiment of under parking a condo project, not having enough parking stalls per the number of units in the building, I think it's kind of rearing its ugly head. Okay, for a while we believed that we could get away with less parking stalls and there'd be more millennials or more people that would want to buy in a condo project and not have parking, but that's proven not really to be true. It doesn't mean that we're not shifting fundamentally, globally towards less cars and more public transit, but for now, Seattle's a market that has shown that people really want parking, okay? And it doesn't mean that project won't be successful and can't sell out because of that. But the other issue I'm seeing is outdoor space, okay? There's a few projects in town that simply didn't account for enough outdoor space, decking, private decks right off of a unit, and I think that's problematic too. So parking and outdoor space has shown itself to be a major hurdle. Now, is that a reason why one of these projects will convert back to an apartment? Not necessarily. It's just very expensive to build these condo projects. Construction costs really are like through the roof, and I could do an entire video just on that, you guys. But those two issues, fundamental issues for a new condo tower, are real. And the feedback that I've been hearing is that it's a big enough problem where it could be a major hurdle for a couple of these projects that are being built downtown. Now, I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not suggesting that I'm not rooting for all of these developers to sell out their projects, but I do think it's a concern, and I think it's a big enough concern that you could see potentially one of these projects that's currently selling downtown not ever make it completely as a condo, and it could be, the contracts could be vacated and it could end up being an apartment. I'm not suggesting this is going to happen for sure. I think this is one of the predictions that I'm making that certainly could happen, and so that's why it was number 4 on the list. Number 5. One thing that I think we need to keep an eye on is this surge towards Bellevue and this demand in Bellevue. For those of you guys unfamiliar, Bellevue just sits east of Seattle. There's 2 floating bridges that take you from the Seattle side over to the east side, we call it. And Bellevue's had a tremendous amount of growth. They're expecting new employment in the tens of thousands here in the next 4 to 5 years in downtown Bellevue. We're seeing condo developers go over there. We're seeing this big surge of office tower dirt trading, office developers looking at buying very, very significant pieces of dirt in order to build new office towers and meet the demand of new employment. And so one thing that I think we need to keep an eye on is this kind of migration, not a true migration, but this interest level in Bellevue and kind of a balancing act. Bellevue has a better political environment right now than Seattle does. It's very clean. It has very little homeless. There's a lot of things in Bellevue that people are looking at, much better schools, quite honestly, that are kind of balancing out the 2 markets, okay? It doesn't mean that Seattle doesn't have a ton to offer, and trust me, it does. I live in Seattle, I love Seattle, but keep an eye on Bellevue, okay? Because I think Bellevue's kind of one of those up-and-coming parts of the world, greater Seattle region, that's gonna have a lot of growth, even more than it has already. Okay, so there we go. Those are just 5 things that I think that you guys can keep your eyes on for 2020. As I said, I'm sitting in my condo project, Wallingford 45. We have 26 sales, which means we have 22 remaining. We're getting closer to 60% sold. We will be sold out next year. I also anticipate that there will be a couple other sellouts, condo buildings that have been completely full. And so I look forward to giving you guys those announcements as we get closer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button for me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd absolutely love to have you guys. 2020 is gonna be a big year. It's gonna be a big decade. I'm gonna be delivering new kind of fresh content to you guys, hoping to continue to add value in your life. Tell me what you wanna see more of. Tell me down in the comments if you wanna see more project reviews, more kind of condo vlogs. What is it that you guys wanna see more of from me in the coming year? Have an awesome, safe new year. Talk to you soon.